think people don't quite understand what Web 2.0 is all about. We see a lot of stuff about wikis, blogs, sharing, openness, user-generated content. It's the world of peace and love, the future of the internet, right? Everybody kind of talks about Web 2.0 like it's the second coming of the summer of love. That's not so. This is a viciously competitive world. It's turning into a battleground of tooth and claw, right? The world is changing. We're already getting out of the golden age of sharing on the internet and into a world where people are competing very seriously. And we're seeing an internet that's increasingly dominated by large businesses. Right? And why is that? Because the heart of Web 2.0 is using the network to harness collective intelligence. And the issue there is that when you build applications that harness collective intelligence, you get increasing returns to the winners. So the people who are first or do something great get bigger, they get better. The application actually gets better the more people use it. And that creates a barrier to entry. In fact, that's one of the ways to tell whether somebody really has a Web 2.0 application or not. It's because it gets better the more people use it. And it gets harder for people to compete with. Because there are fewer and fewer people in the competition, and more people in the dominant player. So they're accelerating returns to the winners. The Sun CTO, Greg Papadopoulos, actually calls this phenomenon red shift. The idea that these companies are actually accelerating away from the competition. And it's such that, one of the things that those of us who are investors or just tracking technologies, we look for what you can think of as the Web 2.0 curve. When you look at on a site like Alexa and you look at companies that are winning, you can see this red shift, where, for example, up here, look at this. Here's Facebook. In 2006, it wasn't really going anywhere, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's up and to the right. And it's one of the first things I do when I hear about a new startup. I look at their graph.